Media Mike Radio, the voice of the everyday citizen.
Let's rock on the mic. What's up, everybody? And you are listening to the best of the Media Mike Radio Show. I am your host, the Media Mike Speaks, sponsored by New Justice Media, where we are the voice of the everyday citizen. The time is now 59 minutes past the hour here in the Lone Star State. So let's get to this story before it's too late. All right, people. Jasmine Crockett. Is this the end of Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett? Is she in trouble? She has a challenger, a contender, Sholdon Daniels, a military veteran. So as you know in my last video on the two faces of Jasmine Crockett, I did the backstory. And a lot of people were a little upset. They're like, why are you picking on her? Why are you? I'm like, look, first of all, she hails from St. Louis, Missouri. Nothing wrong with that. She's a Midwestern. Went to high school there. And everyone is treating her like she's a true Texan. Now, she's here, which is good. And as I said before, I have no dislikes about her. I have nothing personal against her. Other than her antics, I think she should be a little more professional. But hey, it is what it is. And there are people really was questioning the fact that was she married or not. I'm like, look, they keep saying she's never been married, and that's a difference between not married and never been married. Now, it shows that she is married or has been married and has children. Well, that's okay. Y'all do know that's public information. So, let's get to this story. She has a challenger. Is this the end of Jasmine Crockett's reign? Will she be unseated? Who knows? She has a debate coming up. Will she show? So, the political landscape is heating up. Now, we all know with her fiery rhetoric and viral moments, Crockett has become a vocal critic of the Trump administration. However, her position is now under threat from Republican challenger Sholdon Daniels, who claims that the constituents of Texas 30th Congressional District are chomping at the bit to see her ousted. Now, I didn't know that. It could be, but it really depends on her district. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. I mentioned that. Now, Daniels, he is also a Dallas-based attorney, is not holding back his critique of Crockett. He goes on to say she's not really a leader. She's not really a representative, he told Fox News Digital, labeling her more of a performer than a serious legislator. He alleges that Crockett's time in the Texas State House was largely ineffective. He goes on to assert she wasn't even able to pass any laws when she was in the Texas State House. And he goes on to say that we don't anticipate that she'll be able to have any effect while she's on Capitol Hill, unquote. Well, we'll see. She only has about 2 years left. I think 27. I think when her seat's up. And hey, she may win again. I don't know. But she does have a challenger. Now, according to Daniels, it's unfortunate, he goes on to say, that the hardworking families of his district aren't receiving proper representation. He accuses Crockett of spewing all this racist divisiveness and being hell-bent on tearing our country down. Daniels sees himself as the antidote to what he perceives as Crockett's shortcomings. He goes on to say, somebody has to stand up to that. And God blessed me with the ability to do the job. And so I feel the responsibility to act right now. He insists, unquote. Now, Crockett, we all know, Ms. Crockett, who's 43, has enjoyed significant electoral victories, including her win in November, where she defeated her Libertarian challenger by a staggering 70 points. Now, a win is a win, a kill is a kill. It is what it is. 70 points, I mean, she still won. Doesn't seem like a large margin, but hey, she won. Now, despite these victories, Daniels contends that the Democratic representative has lost touch with the more conservative and diverse reality of Texas 30. Now, Mr. Daniels states that Crockett grows more and more unpopular in our district every single day, he claimed, as he attempts to rally the support of a constituency he believes is hungry for change. Now, here's the question. Is this true? Is she growing more and more unpopular? Now, we're going to talk about that in the end, because I have a word from those who've commented. And I think in my last video, a lot of people thought I was saying those things. I said, no, there are people who comment, and I'm going to read them. It's only a few this time. So, the class of ideologies extends to Crockett's vocal criticism of the Trump administrations. In recent weeks, she has made headlines with a series of derogatory comments about the former president. And she goes on to say that his politics aim to push black individuals back into servitude. I don't know where she get that from. If you are African American and you believe that, then you must believe when Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. I mean, this is ridiculous. Back in servitude. If African Americans believe this, I hate to say it, then they are truly idiots. That's something you just can't fathom that's going to happen. But we do have weak-minded people. Now, Daniels responded sharply to her statements, describing them as utterly disrespectful and unbecoming of the office, emphasizing that members of Congress should conduct themselves with dignity. Now, is he right? Is he right? Because she has some antics with Major Taylor Greene and all the profanity and the back and forth. And now, don't get me wrong, they were both unprofessional now. Now, Major Taylor Greene is also a force to be reckoned with. And you shouldn't be going back and forth like that, on the House floor, in Congress. You shouldn't do that. But it is what it is. But we all know when it comes down to African Americans, we are trying to set an example. And I don't know if that's even warranted anymore. It's like the more ratchet you become, the more you're praised. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. Now, his critique isn't just limited to Crockett's tone. Daniels advocates for a platform that centers on lowering taxes, securing the border, and supporting small businesses. He goes on to say, we're going to focus on providing support for small businesses and make sure that they get to keep more of the money that they earn. He elaborated, positioning himself as a pragmatist in contrast to Crockett's more combative style. Now, Daniels is harnessing the power of social media in his campaign to challenge Crockett. Now, she's doing the same thing too. So he has called her out in posts, including an invitation for a debate next month, signaling that he intends to keep the pressure on his opponent as the election approaches. His use of social media parallels Crockett's own viral moments. But while she's been known for her fiery rhetoric, he aims to be seen as the candidate of substance. Now, let's talk about his background a little bit here, building on his credibility. Now, Daniels, as he talks about his personal life, he's gonna draw from that. He describes himself as a common sense fighter. He mentions his military background and struggles growing up in a single parent household. Yeah, okay. He shares his experiences, including time spent in jail as a young man. Okay. All right. Well, unlike someone else who's pretending to be from the streets, not saying that Mr. Daniels is from the streets, just saying, you know how it goes with street cred if you've been incarcerated. So anyway, not everyone, but you know who I'm talking about. As elements that shaped his perspectives on life and politics. This narrative aims to foster a connection with voters who may be experiencing similar challenges. He may resonate. People, he may connect. Now, think about it. Single parent, veteran, spent time incarcerated. Don't know how long. He said jail, not prison, but hey, it is what it is. I don't know. Unlike the other person who went to private school and, other things. Just saying. In a time when political discourse feels increasingly disconnected from the experiences of ordinary Americans, Daniels is attempting to frame himself as a representative of the everyday working family. He expresses frustration with what he describes as Crockett's prioritization of social media stunts over genuine legislative work. He goes on to say there's a study that came out from the Congressional Management Foundation that found that 90% of voters want their representatives to be focused on policy, underscoring his commitment to substance over spectacle. I got to look at that. He could be right. But let me tell you, good people, as the campaign heats up, both Crockett and Daniels are prepared to illustrate stark contrasts in their visions for Texas 30. Crockett's resilience and determination have positioned her as a significant voice in Congress, and Daniels' call for professionalism and decorum seeks to tap into a desire for change among constituents. Now, here's the thing. There was a time when they said the angry black woman, and then you had the angry black man. And that was kind of shunned upon. But now I guess it's not. The more angry or loud you are, the more you're accepted. I don't know. But let's get to those who commented. Now, one commenter wrote, "It would not matter if he crushed her in a debate, and that debate was televised nationally. The voters in that gerrymandered district would still vote for her. If you want to know how such fools make it to the halls of Congress, that's how." Wow. Another commenter wrote, "That's the sad part. Daniels could crush Crockett in a live debate, but it would probably not move the needle. Why? District 30 has a rating of D plus 27. I guess the D plus, I don't know what the 20, okay, D plus. That makes it the most Democratic district in Texas." Another commenter wrote, "She will not debate just like AOC. They can't answer anything, but as long as no one can ask them questions, they can keep on lying." So, well, there you have it. The question is this the beginning of the end of Jasmine Crockett? Will she be unseated? Well, time will tell, and that remains to be seen. Tune in. Until next time, this is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker. Subscribe, share, and like to keep me rocking on the mic. Have a good night.
Media Mike Radio, the voice of the everyday citizen.
I'll understand you soon, it won't be long. Keep on, keep running.